Welcome to Hard Facts, and my name is Kimberly Wachku. Call me the Oracle, Digital Oracle, OTF, the fellow, Madam Speaker. Adeomi is insisting on Kim the Delicate, but that's just you and the NUJ Chairman of City Council. Ochanya, one of Nigeria Info, and I'll say yes to them all. And I've got two amazing ladies with me in the studio. They're just understudying. Say hi, ladies.
Hi.
All right, then. So, would be looking at some of the big stories driving conversation together. Sadly, my guests will not be joining. Yes, I feel you. But I got you now, Abby. I trust your perspective and contribution on the stories that we're looking at, that is going to be very thoughtful and one that you look at from diverse perspective. And that means people are going to have different stand and different opinion. So don't be too hard when someone takes a different turn from yours to thinking the person is, That's what enriches the conversation, the diversity of thoughts and perspective that we bring to our discourse here. As long as they're not extreme or absolutely redonkulous, we welcome them here. Okay, and there are quite a number of the stories to look at today. Yesterday, when we had Dr. Majid Dahiru with us in the studio, we did talk about the telecast. I think it was one of the first stories we started with, and apparently it is not just PDP that is uncomfortable with that or thinks it's going to put them under intense pressure. INEC seem to feel exactly the same way. So the request for a live broadcast of the proceeding of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal faced stiff opposition in court yesterday. Today's Thursday. Today. Now, Lateef Fagbemi, counsel to the APC, we mentioned that the position they held yesterday, and also opposing the application in its submission of Bakar Mahmood, counsel to the Independent National Electoral Commission, said a live broadcast will only defeat the solemn atmosphere of the court, that we don't want to be put under additional pressure by having cameras in our faces, Mahmood said. And remember what the president-elect said yesterday, surprised by the application through his counsel. INEC seemed to think to put them under some bit of pressure with cameras in their faces. You just feel like literally Nigerians are breathing down the necks of everybody there. But some people feel like it's not intense. It's not that serious. It's just you. Just be there. Be comfortable, do you, while the camera just, hovers around. Maybe not with a drone, actually, but, capture the moment, the essence of it, to give it a bit more transparency. And quite a number of people have registered their own opinion on this, and it's quite the opposite. Seem to think it will become more of a charade when we have too many cameras, too many thoughts, too many interpretation. I've heard someone even argue that he doesn't trust the legal understanding of the average Nigerian enough to interpret what is coming out of the court. If he saw it himself, that it will be left for the journalists and legal practitioners to help them understand the technicalities of the language and the procedure so that it's not interpreted on the pedestrian level. But, sometimes I don't think we give ourselves enough credit. However, if INEC is saying that will put us under pressure, APC is saying that will put us under pressure, it's absolutely unnecessary and we're surprised by it. The court has a say, and if they see sense in all of this call and pressure, they might just, but as much as possible, we'll give you the update, we'll give you the feelers, we'll give you all of the juicy gist happening on the sideline. I mean, yesterday we did talk about the Labour Party situation that happened with Lamidi Apapa, all the side gist, you caught it. So nothing much was... I don't think we left out anything except the critical nature of what happened. And then we know that the proceeding also for, I think, that of the APC has been moved. Things are just moving. Things are still evolving and developing. I don't think we've come to like the crescendo of it enough for people to say, okay, this is the moment where we need to pay rapt attention. But it's a good thing that Nigerians are invested in what's happening with the Election Petition Tribunal. It shows that indeed this will be maybe slightly to a certain extent different. All right. So, yes, now that INEC itself has said we are not comfortable with that will put us under intense pressure, does it at this point make sense to you to not even go in that direction whatsoever? Well, we'll find out. Now let's head to Anambra State, where we have this sad development of the attack on the convoy of the U.S. personnel, the embassy, that is. And the U.S. says it will ensure that the perpetrators of the attack on the convoy are brought to justice. On Tuesday, unknown gunmen attacked a convoy conveying staff of the U.S. consulate officers of the Nigerian police force and their civilian. And Ikenga Tubechukwu, Anambra police spokesperson, said 2 police operatives were killed alongside 2 staff of the consulate. The bodies of the victims were set ablaze by the gunmen. And the White House had said the State Department was looking into the issue. In a statement on Wednesday, Anthony Blinken, U.S. Secretary of State, said the convoy was conveying the staff to a U.S.-funded flood project in Anambra State, and said some members of the convoy were unaccounted for, adding that the U.S. would collaborate with Nigerian security agencies to ensure that the attackers are brought to book. And then they went on to say that unknown assailant yesterday attacked a convoy of 2 U.S. government vehicles in the Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State, Nigeria. The convoy was carrying about 9 Nigerian nationals, 5 employees of the U.S. mission to Nigeria, 4 members of the Nigerian police force, and they were traveling in advance of a planned visit by U.S. mission personnel to a U.S.-funded flood response project in Anambra State, according to the statement. We do not know yet the motive for the attack, but we have no indication at the time that it was targeted against our mission, and the assailant killed at least 4 members of the convoy, and the U.S. personnel are working urgently with Nigerian counterpart to ascertain the location, the condition of the members of the convoy who are at this moment unaccounted for. So they haven't even accounted for some of them after the whole attack and the burning, people scamper, run for safety and the likes of it. It is something that they are hopeful that they would come back alive and not killed also or something. And it's one to condemn in its strongest term, and they did indicate that in the statement they put out, and saying that they're going to work with the law enforcement agency to see an end to it. And the big question is, what's the motive? What's the idea? Is it just an attack for the heck of it to just, bring that bit of tension between countries? We know that the U.S. do not, joke with either their personnel, their citizens, and the likes of it. So this one is a brazen attack. Well, at this point, you start to ask, did they know? Was it calculated? But from all of the report and the update, it's obviously a calculated one. And I'm sure that must put the government and the governor of the state under some intense pressure. Because, nobody wants this kind of killing of this nature or attack of this nature to happen in your backyard, in your home front. It gives that sense of heightened insecurity enough that people can do that. But that is going to be us pretending if we don't say these attacks don't happen. Every now and again, you get to hear of attack, of missing people, of abduction, of killings in different parts of the country. So the threats are still pretty much there. And anyone, apparently, local citizen or whoever can fall victim if we do not sort ourselves out with the issues we're grappling with concerning insecurity. A big question is for the next government, the incoming government, May 29, the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to seeing what strategy they have, what idea do they have, what team, what heads do they have to work with. But we're still going to have the same security chiefs, we're still going to have the same lineup of people. Are we going to see a shake-up of some sort? Are we going to see maybe some restructuring, if I might use that word, of our security architecture? Are we going to apply a different strategy, or is it going to be the same and allow this menace continue? Time will tell at the end of the day. Now, seeing that I have no guest with me, don't mind the young lady sitting close to me. No guest at all. I'm skipping the chair one. So I will open up the phone lines. If any of the stories interest you, we just get the conversation moving so I don't go talking all by myself. Savior Nkanang on YouTube says, good afternoon, Kim and our guest. Are you a guest? All right, then. She's watching. And yes, we're on Facebook and YouTube. YouTube is at Nigeria Info ABJ. Facebook is at Nigeria Info ABJ. That's if we're on Facebook at the moment. But YouTube, I'm positive we're on because I can see it. And Steve DG says, good afternoon, Kim. Thank you very much for that, Steve. Hajara Ibrahim, we see you always around with us. So let's hear this caller. Hello. Oh, dear. Okay, you would have to call back. There seems to be some bit of interference. Hello? Turn off your phone, sir. Turn it off.
Mr. Kim.
You're welcome to the show. What's your name?
My name is Good Luck.
All right, good luck. We're listening.
Yes, Sister Kim, I condemn the attack in Anambra State. I don't know what is actually happening. Everywhere, insecurity. I don't know how Southeast, that used to be one of the peaceful area in Nigeria here, has turned out to be a deadly area.
Oh, dear. All right, call us back. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Okay, this is Cash Flow calling.
Listening, Cash Flow.
Okay, Kim, honestly, the attack on this U.S. flooded-funded, personnel is very sad and unfortunate. You see, Kim, this is what we are talking about, the insecurity state of this country. You can now see this barbaric act by some, insane, fellows. Look, we should be careful because we might just be stepping on the tail of a tiger. These personnel are not this kind of, Nigerian people and get away. And who perpetrated this evil act. So the state governor should do something about it, or else, just like you said, he's going to be under intense pressure that this kind of, bastard act can have, happen, in a state. So honestly, the insecurity you are talking about, this new government that is incoming should get ready, to do something about it, or else this thing will consume all of us. It concerns everybody, so we should do something. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Cash Flow. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, Kingsley, how is work?
Going pretty well, Kingsley.
This attack in Anambra is highly condemnable. But in Nigeria, things are happening. When you look deeply, when you think deeply, you might understand or you might perceive what is going on.
Have you perceived exactly what is going on? Is there something to look at beyond just...
In my own conjectures, I see it as an attempt to blackmail Southeast as terrorists or as people who don't like Americans. Because...
Oh, my brother, it happened there. I know that we've not established the facts of all of the matters and the identity of the people.
It's a conjecture.
All right. Okay, go ahead then.
We have to think in different directions. Thank you.
All right. It says conjecture, so I would allow that is not hinged on any tangible fact at this point in time. Hello.
Hello, Kim.
Welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Ben on the line.
All right, Ben, we're listening.
Thank you. Let me go straight to Anambra. You see, what is bad is bad. I don't think anybody can, oppose such. But still, they have to look inside it. And yes, because external forces, anybody can even come and oppose such again, because now killing is nothing to them. In all part of the country, investigations should be carried out before they can, say is this or that. It's condemnable. Nobody can change such act. And the second issue now is concerning INEC, the tribunal doing their live coverage. Now, some parties say no, some say yes. But I'm asking INEC. INEC is just like a referee, playing football. What concerns them? without objection. What is their aim? No. By the way, a clear conscience says no accusation. If you are free, if you are too free, let them to do it. Let them go to hear what happened. It actually be done in secret. During the conviction of our senator, the whole world heard it. What happened? Talking of, yes, unless they are starting to hide, they should make it open. Let us hear what happened. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello.
Good evening, my sister.
You're welcome. Good afternoon.
Thank you for all what we are presenting. I'm a good listener of your presentation.
Thank you, sir.
You see, I am ashamed of what is happening. Why am I ashamed? If I was not a policeman, I would say, yes, government have no hand in what is happening. I was a policeman. I headed local government, I headed divisions, I worked in town, I listened to anywhere. I'll say this about 2 years ago. I look at it as it's not necessary to talk on the radio. There is no crime committed in a local government in a place that you can isolate policemen from, not knowing who are the existing. But government will be cool police, reduce police to nonsense. And that is why everybody is watching as if it's not my concern, it's not my concern. If government want it ended by it is very simple. Empower the police, encourage the police. Bringing the army. We have 774 local government. How many army divisions do we have in 774 local governments?
All right. Oh, dear. So sorry, sir, but we need to run for a quick break. If you can, call back.
The good people of Nigeria, they are
My name is Elder Emma Okoro. I'm interested in rebuilding my nation. And so I have to join the beginning of cleaning of the environment. The Gariki environment here is totally filthy and unhealthy for our people. So when Mayor Fortune decided that Abuja should come out, I decided to join because it's for the good of our people, our children, our wives, and our families. That's why I'm part of this group, so that I'll be part of those who have started the journey to rebuild Nigeria.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Of officials of the U.S. consulate who were headed to a community over a project, a U.S.-funded project to deal with issue about flooding in that particular area, were unfortunately killed by gunmen, and some of them are still missing. They're investigating to just get to the root of the matter. So the concern, I'm sure, the pressure is not just making the image of the country look bad. The government of the state will also be very concerned. But it just brings to the fore how bad insecurity is in the country. And not to remind, sometimes you don't talk about these things on the roundtable every day, but the attacks are still going on from Zamfara to Kaduna. In Plateau State already, 100 people were murdered in their home. As last time I checked, about 98 or 96 bodies have been found, and quite a number of them are still missing. The rep member in representing the constituency is crying for help, to saying something needs to be done about our community. People get killed in their homes. It's still happening. It's still happening in Plateau many years after. It's still happening in Kaduna. Zamfara State isn't spared from this. Kaduna isn't spared. So the insecurity is widespread, and it's can I say multidimensional? Because you can't place your finger. You can't use a blanket approach to dealing with it, because they all have their own uniqueness based on the region that you're dealing with. And it's mind-boggling to for me as a Nigerian, to just know how widespread it is at this point in time. Who is going to save us? Who's going to help us? Who has the idea? What can we do? What can we employ to deal with this lingering problem of insecurity in Nigeria? Well, let's get your thoughts. I'll hear from two more people, and then we'll look at one more story. Hello.
Hello, Kim.
I can hear you, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Okorafo.
Okorafo, welcome.
Yeah, I'm from Anambra State, actually.
Okay, sir.
The solution to this, especially in the south, is...
Okorafo, sorry about that. Please call us back if you can. Hello? Oh, dear. Okay, let's hear you on WhatsApp. Hello?
Hello, the Oracle.
Yes, you're welcome.
The Ochanya one. I greet you. My name is Salasi.
To your return, Salasi. Thank you very much.
I want to say congratulations to your radio station in Lagos and other places. I saw the award night yesterday, and I want to say kudos to you. And very soon, next time, Abuja will get the award.
I mean?
What is happening in Anambra? You just made mention of Plateau. Hundreds of people have been killed in Plateau. People have been killed in Southern Kaduna. People have been killed in Niger State. Here in Niger State, the bandit asking 6 communities to be working for them, for their farms. Bandits have laid stage, gather momentum, get places. I hear President condemning, yes, I know life is sacred before God. Honestly, I wasn't, in fact, those people were innocent people that went there for humanitarian help to the Anambrians. And they were killed by this monster called unknown government. So this insecurity has been laying carnage on innocent Nigerians. That is why, whenever you hear me talking, because I have been victim of insecurity, I have lost family members due to insecurity, I have paid ransom due to rescue a family member that was kidnapped. Look at people being killed every day. As I always say, government should do the needful. Where do you see in the country that almost all the security chiefs are from one part of the country? Let me tell you, in Kano, the Minister of Defense is from Kano. The DGDSS is from Kano. The Chief of Naval Staff is from Kano. The Chief of Army Staff is from Sokoto. The Minister of Police Affairs is Sokoto. If you go to almost all, and even with all these things, there hasn't been security. So when people are talking of Muslim, Christian, me, I don't care about that. How our life will be improved. That is my concern. As I always say, today victims were yesterday survivor, and tomorrow victims were today survivor. Government, do the needful. Don't think that you will remain in power forever. If you think that you have the policemen to guide you, your family member are there. Some of them, it's like I always say, insecurity like throwing stone in the market. You never know who it may hit. You never know, it may hit your family member, it may hit your friend, it may hit your child. Government, do something about this insecurity. Not only condemning. They will bring them to book. They have been talking of bringing them to book. Still up to now, the book have been full. People are dying. We don't want to be hearing that. I'm not happy.
No one is happy, Salasi. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate your very passionate contribution on this particular one. No one should be happy with the state of insecurity that we're dealing with. And the fact that it morphed from, the threat of Boko Haram, which we've been able to manage from one end, into something else, it's quite troubling. And the fear is usually when you allow things like this escalate, you would need time and effort and commitment and that political will to actually addressing it down to the root cause of it. Let's hope that the next government got what it takes to fix it. I mean, we had a former ex-general for 8 years, and some credit on how Boko Haram was managed. However, we didn't pay attention enough to understand the dimension, or didn't pay attention. There was a lot of politicking and rhetorics and all kinds of narrative coming from even the government quarters that sort of blinded the reality of what we're dealing with from the jump. If we had attended to it from there, faced it head on like a threat to national security and the entire country, perhaps it would have been different. But let's hope the next government know what to do to end or reduce all of the madness. On YouTube, Ibave Bemba says, Kim, happy to see your face on YouTube. I pray that the Lord give you more strength as you continue with the good job that you're doing. Thank you very much. And Oludade Abiodun says, good afternoon, Kim, and the ladies in the house. Attack on the U.S. staff is totally condemnable. You can see what some people are saying already, that it is targeted on the people of the South, on the Southeast. And Christian Chionye says, I think the federal government should review the security vote being given to the state governors on security. All right, then. Ashura Abbas says the barbaric killing of innocent people in Anambra State is unfortunate, and the general criminals who carry out this dastardly act must be arrested and duly prosecuted. I quite agree with you. If we can find them, we need to rope them in. And let's not forget that a medium security prison was broken into. How many of them have we been able to find? I mean, how vast and how dense and how complex is Nigeria that we can't find people who break out of prison, at least get a critical chunk of them back? You know, things like this can keep one up at night to saying, then people really get away with some heinous crime in the country. We need to work on that. It just cannot continue where people actually are so brazen and daredevil in their approach to saying, we'll do this and we can get away with it. So, well, let's hear more thoughts. Hello.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Thank you. My name is Okarafa once again.
Okarafa, welcome.
Yeah, what we're saying is sincerity is the purpose. The problem with the South is that we, the Southeastern people, we don't want to be sincere. Look at Salasi every day shouting about insecurity in the North. I want to see the Igbos who will be shouting about what's going on in the Southeast. If you know the killing that is going on by this unknown government in the Southeast, kill, you will pity the average Boma who come to read every day, be talking about politics, instead of how the Igbo land will be peaceful again. You don't blame Soludo. Now somebody call and say, it may be to blackmail the Southeast. That is, I don't understand how our people think these days. What happened in Obaro is an eyesore. Kim, do you know that in Inewi South, last month ending, an Igbo was kidnapped, an Ono was kidnapped, and about 4 key stakeholders in the palace were kidnapped down to Imo State, and they have to pay big ransom before this were released in Inewi South. You don't just go to Inewi South anyhow now. There are people who are supposed to be speaking out. We have House of Rep, we have senators. The president Obaru, House of Rep member, is a Labour Party man. Has he condemned this act? The president one that is about to swear in. We shouldn't be looking at government. Now, these boys is in the communities now. Most of them, they will be spied to this point in the forest. If they come into the community, they will not spy at a junction. Because there is an informant that gave that information that these people are coming to Obaru and they are US. And what do these people believe? These people that is looking for so-called our Biafra. What did I made that to believe is that if you attack foreign missions, then they will give us Biafra. These are the level that have brainwashed our people. And somebody will call and say, it's DSS that is killing our people, it's like that. Now, where is going? All the instigations and all the propaganda that is Buhari that is killing now. Why will soon they will now face Tinubu? We are trying to say that we must be sincere to what is going on inside this. The people they arrested already, the killed already in Inewi South or thereabouts, they are Igbos. They are not Hausas. They are not Yorubas. They know these people. Community know this, but who will talk? Somebody say police. Even the police, you know this information. They have already defeated most of the security apparatus. Finished vigilante. If not that Soludo is doing his best with Anambra vigilante, my dear, nobody for the go Anambra state as I talk to you. So many things going on. Forget about this United Nations that when that happened that is so pathetic. We are going to rescue people to give them good health. Obaru is a rivery area. So many disasters are happening in Obaru because of fraud. And somebody is coming to help you. You think if you are attacking the United Nations will not grant the freedom of the Biafran people. This is how you big understand. Somebody in Abuja talking about Labour Party, talking about P2B and stuff. Instead of talking about how the Igbo land can be peaceful. It's pathetic. Educated people coming on to talk. And they don't know what's happening in the Southeast.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, sometimes there can be that sense of self-denial as to what is happening, really. And, you know, the conversation with Dr. Majid comes to mind where we're looking at what played out in Sudan, how militias, the Janjaweeds and the like, had infiltrators who were also used as an instrument at that point to get at a certain group of people. And then when they had that secession on the state, you know, they started attacking themselves. So it's a case of dog eat dog at this point in time. Those who you thought were for you. Because, you know, there's always perspective to how people do things. The people you see as freedom fighters, some people see them as terrorists. It's all perspective and depends on the stand where you are and where you see it from. Freedom fighter, terrorists fighting for our cause. And then at the end of the day, end up half the time. I mean, check out history, go back and read books, turning on their own and consuming their own. That is what is playing out in Sudan. And you've seen it play back in history in different parts of the world. So sometimes when we condone certain things and don't call for, you know, ways to addressing these issues, getting to the root of it, there's room, I mean, for those kind of conjectures, because you find it very difficult to accept that people from my region are capable of doing this. But we've seen that people of different regions are capable of horror in Nigeria. Once upon a time, if they had told you Nigerians were capable of strapping up bombs and blowing themselves up, you would swear by your life that it's not possible. We saw it happen in the history of this country. People who identify as Nigeria strapping themselves, strapping young girls, and blowing people up. I wouldn't have believed it a long time back that it was possible. And today we're seeing people ransacking community, just killing people as if, life means absolutely nothing. So I just hope someone is there to help us up. Help us all, different corner of the countries where we're having all of this threat at this point in time. Let's throw one more story in quickly before I take more of your thought. And the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has revealed that the governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawalle, is being investigated over allegation of corruption, award of phantom contract, and diversion of over 70 billion naira. EFCC said it was making the development known to you following the recent attempt by the outgoing governor to cast aspersion on the integrity of the agency's fight against corruption by making what the agency described as fascistical. Is that how they pronounce that word? Skip. Allegation of corruption in asset disposal and plea bargain procedure, amongst others. The Director of Media and Public Affairs, EFCC Osita Nwaja, who spoke on behalf of the chairman of the agency, Abdul Rashid Bawa, made the disclosure on Thursday while addressing journalists at the commission's headquarters in Jabi, Abuja. And the anti-graft agency also confirmed that a former Minister of Power, Saleh Mama, who was recently arrested by his operative over alleged 22 billion naira fraud, is still pretty much in detention, for those who are wondering. Remember, it was in the news last week. He's still in detention. Now, going philosophical, Nwaja said it is intriguing that Matawalle would want to take on the role of the supervisor who tells the EFCC whom to investigate. Is this a case of a thief saying he must not be touched until other thieves are caught? Question. Is that the case of it? Like, is that you catch all the thieves together, put us in one thief basket, and then I'll feel justified? Or don't come after me. Unfortunately, it is not within Matawalle's remit to dictate to EFCC whom to arrest, when and where. Suspect in the custody of the commission cut across all sectors and social class. The qualification to get a space in the commission's detention facility is to commit a crime. It does not matter whether you're a priest, imam, governor, or minister. And currently, a former minister of power is in the custody of the EFCC over 22 billion corruption allegation. That conveniently did not attract Matawalle's attention, the EFCC remarked. And the anti-graft agency noted further that the outgoing governor of Zamfara State is being investigated for allegedly diverting money sourced as a loan for an old generation bank, purportedly for the execution of projects across local government of the state. But the issue with Matawalle is that he's been investigated over allegation of monumental corruption. And then he's saying, well, you need to investigate other people also. He does have a right to make that request, yeah? Or not? Because, I mean, he was talking last week to say that you need to also investigate a lot of the aides of Mr. President, that they need to be probed also. I recall I saw that in the news. The outgoing governor of Zamfara State has asked the anti-graft agency to probe officers of the presidency and members of the Federal Executive Council. I mean, it was specific on the area of target for EFCC. Officials of the presidency included the president, the vice president, some other aides appointed by the president, while EFCC members include the FEC members, I beg your pardon, the presidency, and then the FEC includes the president, the vice, and their ministers. Matawalle said this in a public statement wherein he questioned the motive of the EFCC investigating outgoing governors. And I'm going to quote him a bit here. I demand that the EFCC chair extends similar invitation to officers of the presidency and members of the Federal Executive Council, which is the highest tier of government in the country. Mr. Matawalle will cease to be governor on May 29, having lost his re-election bid. And Governors enjoy immunity from prosecution. The EFCC is believed to be ready to intensify the investigation of outgoing governors, including Mr. Matawalle, in which they have said and told us what they're investigating. Matawalle is saying there are plenty of us. Investigate them too. Let's be all in the same detention investigation center. Quite interesting. Well, one in the net will see who the EFCC goes after as they lose their immunity. I mean, from the dollar in the Babariga one that is on video, is this something they're going to take up? And the others that Nigerians are not aware of, that, money sourced as loan diverted, or that is meant for security vote diverted. You never can tell how this diversion and misappropriation and siphoning happen, but we will trust that the agency know what they're doing there. So, is it a case of a thief, like the EFCC asks, saying that he's not to come after me until you get other thieves? Then he feels justified. That's the third story in the mix. So call me up on 0700 951 0000 or 0809 5974869, or you can call via WhatsApp on 0809 9930 Don't forget, we're up on Facebook also. YouTube is on, Facebook is on. Naziru Rabiu Al Hassan, my regards from here, is listening all the way from Kano. Thank you very much, Nazir. Folorun Shaw Martin Lewu says Matawalle made a very good suggestion. EFCC should take his advice. All right, they seem to agree with Matawalle as to the spread of it and not focus, because some people are already saying, why are you picking on this gentleman? He's been very vocal. I mean, he says the CBN governor should not be allowed to go on study leave. And, he's been one of those governors who went to Supreme Court and questioned the policy by Mr. President through the CBN governor. So it makes him almost anti in terms of his position of where the policy of his party stands. And is that enough ground to investigate him? But then, if there's real substantial claim, then go. Get at it. It's now left for Nigerians to ask the DSS, how about the allegation of funding terrorism against the CBN governor? What, you're just messing with us? And someone will say, oh, they tried to arrest him, but there were soldiers around, so they couldn't arrest him. And so that's it. Have soldiers around you and investigation ends. We need to get serious. Also, Francis Namani says, watching live from Amagunze in Enugu State. Good afternoon, Kimberly. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Mr. Sam calling.
Welcome, sir.
Well done, job.
Thank you, sir.
When the president before he came on board, he said subsidy is a scam. They are for nobody and for everybody. They just signed 22 trillion supplementary budget, hardship allowance. Now they want to collect $850 million. Do these people even reason at all and think that there are human beings after?
All right. I was waiting for you to connect it to the stories that we're reviewing on the roundtable. It's not open mic. Hello.
Hello, my sister. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Obedient Moses Machifu.
You're welcome. Okay, we're getting feedback. Obedient Moses Machiku. I would have to drop your call. Sorry about that. Please call back. Hello?
Hello, Kim.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, my name is Chinedu.
We're listening.
Yeah, I think the story that impressed me is the one that happened in my state, Anambra.
You should.
And I think this government at all levels should take whatever that is happening in Southeast very serious. Team, Southeast is in trouble, but it's not always in the news. Yes, you can still go do your business and go, but if you are unfortunate to run into this guy, and
Obedient Moses. Oops, sorry about that. Hello?
Hello?
Turn off your radio, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Trending, I beg. Anambra State. I'm from Anambra, son of the soil.
Okay.
I beg. please take this message to Soludo. Make him get up and do his work. Let him get up and do his work. Once we tell him how to secure Anambra State, now we tell Bello how to secure Kogi State. Upon saying Kogi is a volatile state, after attacking Obi, he will get up and start taking all he doesn't supposed to say. That's my own contribution. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Sendo Kakole from Gari.
We're listening, sir.
Yeah. For this, about this insecurity in Anambra State or the whole Southeast, you see, for me, before you blame anybody, I will blame the law enforcement agents. Because if you go to Southeast, one pole, you see police checkpoint, army checkpoint. One pole, police checkpoint, army checkpoint. One pole, police checkpoint, army checkpoint. And even if you see public school law, you come out, operate and kill and go free. You can arrest them. What are they doing? Checkpoint? You see checkpoint everywhere. Yes, this was to come out, operate as human beings, go free. Tell me, what are they checking? What are they checking, Kim? Let me answer that. What are they checking? One pole checkpoint, one pole checkpoint, one pole checkpoint. Yes, this was to come out, kill human beings and go free. What are they doing? Are they afraid to attack them? So, according to what my friend said, Salasi, earlier, I said it before. See, the security architecture is from one region, we can't get it right. I've said without a number. One region, we can't get it right. They will come out and this will continue. If that character did not work, we cannot get the country right. I pray Tinubu to correct this thing. If he comes in, let us respect for that character. Everybody is fair hearing. You bring a contribution, I bring my contribution, this country will work well. Not on one-sided government. We can't get it right, my sister.
All right. Thank you very much. And on Facebook, WhatsApp, I beg your pardon, Tope says, Kim and our interns, what pressure are they talking about? The Ekweremadu case was as an open court case, and the judge was very calm and confident in its delivery. So our judiciary has not matured to that level. On the attack on the U.S. convoy, it's another bad story. Registering Nigeria in the black book again, says Tope. And Triple D from Waru says, sad one in Anambra, may the souls of these people rest in peace. Nigerian election does not mean it's judiciary that will decide for who will be our president. God help us and God bless Nigeria. INEC under Professor Mahmood lacks, in his opinion, transparency. Joe in Maraba. And Sonny from Gariki says, good afternoon. On the killing in Anambra is condemnable. The police headquarters was quick to put out a statement blaming the U.S. Embassy for not informing them before embarking on the trip. But we've learned that 2 policemen were among the dead. My question is whether the governor is not aware of their presence. Are those police killed on illegal duty that the force headquarters would tell us that they were not aware of it? Virtue says INEC has been acting like a political party rather than an umpire. The introduction of VAR in modern football league and competition helps to bring transparency, accountability, and justice to the game of football. With VAR, fouls, offside, handball, error, and goals are reviewed and replayed over again for everyone to see what transpired during the matches. I've not seen referees opposing the introduction of VAR. Instead, they are happy because it makes their job easier and transparent. Ironically, INEC, who happens to be the referee in the case, is afraid and opposed to VAR, which is equivalent to live transmission of court proceeding for the world to see. INEC has moved, in his opinion, from being an umpire to acting like a political party. It's suspicious to see APC and INEC unanimously opposed to live transmission of court proceeding in the presidential election petition tribunal. That is virtue. And Victor from Cuba, let the federal government introduce Bakassi boys back in the southeast, and for the north, let the Arewa youth protect the north. No coming out to demand for slots in National Assembly. When they were attacking security people in Anambra State, so many people were quiet. My own was attacked there. Now it's becoming international news. Anambra State needs serious security attention. Oshodi Ebenezer. INEC is not acting as an unbiased umpire at all. Rather, it's acting as though it's a candidate in the just concluded election. What kind of pressure would they be under? I don't get it. Olivia from Gariki sent that one in. Ampire says, good afternoon, sister. Please, on Labour Party crisis, let's educate those. Okay, we didn't touch on that story today. Solomon from Airport Road. I keep asking, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces in Nigeria? Are we sure it exists? Yes, it does. And yet all the killings are going on. What then is the essence of having a government if, you don't have security of life and property? For the Buhari government in terms of insecurity in Nigeria, it's all failure. Let the incoming government put in new strategy to handling it. For this government has underperformed and failed in all our expectation. Abbas from Wuse sent that one in. Kim the Oracle, I hail. Skip not my message, for Nigeria will be greater than it is today. If you do the crime, you do the time, says Sani. Hello.
Hello, Kim. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Oge from Lokogoma.
Good to hear from you.
Speak one on Jazzy and EFCC. Or the Matawalle, sorry. This is what we're talking about. When you begin to be selective, people begin to cast aspersion. If you get somebody, you deal with the person. I don't think this government will have the effort now to start calling names of people that they should look into and people that they should not look into. We see it all the time. Somebody makes a speech. You arrest him from Anambra, you bring him to Abuja, another person slaps a policeman, you allow him, whenever he likes, to come into the police station, then you arrest him. These are the things we are talking about. That's why the man can come and be telling you that EFCC should first of all look at certain people before they look at them. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Jerry.
We're listening.
Yeah. What's happening in Anambra is very, very bad. It's very, very condemnable, honestly. You understand? I don't know who behind all those things. But what I'm saying is that I don't think what are those people are trying to do? They are not going to gain anything. You understand? I used to tell them the struggle of freedom is not a key party. If you see what's happening in the apartheid regime in South Africa, you see how the Margaret Thatcher government sabotaged Mandela's struggle about apartheid. You understand? To deal with Mandela, the South African government destroy many police stations in South Africa, and they see some women that are coming back from farm. You understand? Anybody who knows the history of struggling of apartheid in South Africa know that freedom is not the key part. You understand? Because I don't know what these people are going to gain by doing all this kind of thing. But me, I believe it's not the town people that want to do something and doing all this kind of thing. You understand? Hello?
We're listening.
Hello?
Yeah, you need to wrap up.
When you see, if it is during the military regime, they call it unknown soldier. Even common men, they fight the military. What we are seeing that time is unknown soldier. They kill a Kudrat, say unknown soldier. They throw Fela mother into the hostels. They say unknown soldier. Because we are in a civil line.
All right, sir.
So to me, nobody can deceive me. Let federal government do something about it and stop this sabotaging. Understand? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. His opinion there. And Vivian Gebi says killing of citizens is becoming too much across the nation. The government needs to sit up and put a stop to this menace. She sent it on Facebook. And Ben Nuhu Mahanan says, from Nigeria here, we watch as Ikweremadu's judgment went. Why can't we watch what is happening in our own court? Send this one all the way from Jahi. Hello? Good afternoon.
Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Voice of Onyeka Schneider calling you from Kuje.
Welcome, Onyekachi.
Talking about the Matawalle. I think it's very, very important that they should also check other ones. Even though they are heard him for now, they should also check other ones because it's not easy. The way we see things going here, it's not easy. For him to say that, he might have a hard time of some of his colleagues, so to speak. Let me just put it like that. For Anambra, it's my home. We condemn that in entirety because it's not. I don't know what they see to make sure that they just get people murdered. It's not good. It's not in our character. That cannot give us anything. No. Killing cannot give us anything. People should repent at the same time, follow things in a normal way. Thank you very much. I have a nice celebration.
Thank you very much. And let's throw one more call in quickly and make way for the news.
Thank you. MD calling you.
Welcome, MD.
Yeah. Definitely, in fact, it's a real sad news. It's a sad news on the issue of this Anambra. I don't know. Waiting these people, then they find. In fact, I want to salute my able brother Salasi. He's always passionate indeed, not only him, and with the people that are always passionate in this issue of killing. Waiting then they find. Carry gun. See somebody like you. You kill him. You begin waka. They go. You feel you are happy. You kill somebody. Well, keep on doing it. God is watching you, and God is watching anybody. And for those that in this killing, they always say there is non-gunmen. Non-gunmen. If Nigeria government, they can carry Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria, and if they cannot able to trace this evil Moscow,
all right,
in your own country, hi, oh God,
all right,
our country Nigeria.
Thank you.
Our country Nigeria.
Thank you very much, sir. We need to join Joy for the news. She's seated. Let's listen to the bulletin at the top of the hour. We'll be back in a bit.
Back to back and back of the biggest talk on your number one station for talk, Nigeria.
This is Nigeria Info.